Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. You see how easy that was?
Do we have our beat playing in the back for this one? Because I know we're in overtime. So But anyways.
I'm Michael 7 Michael. We have Drew on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast. And you're watching ECLECTICKA. So, we are both watching an awesome show called American Gods. And I like it. I like the concept. It's different.
That was a hell of a lot of attention for us. I like it.
I like it.
That was nice, man. That was nice.
I mean, it's good. And now
it's getting the buzz. Mind you, forewarning, for shame on myself, I'm not caught up yet. I am, like I said, I spent most of this weekend trying to catch up on shows and just be like a non-productive human after a pretty grueling couple months.
Right.
And I'm still catching up. But from what I've seen and from what I've heard, American Gods is doing it right. The stuff that they're changing, it makes sense for a television show because American Gods, which is one of my all-time favorite novels, is a very dense, very detailed, very character-occupied story. And what they've switched around, it fits the medium to where you can get as much information on the characters and as much of all that good stuff in an hour sitting per episode. So it's good. I think it's only going to have, 10 episodes per season? Between 8 and 10?
It looks like it's going to be 10 because I've seen up until 8, and the way it's left off, I think it's going to be 2 more.
Because again, I'm going from my knowledge of the book, not what's been shown in the series.
Gotcha.
Has something happened to Mad Sweeney yet?
Not yet.
Okay, because I didn't want to spoil that for anybody. But you know that Ish is about to pop off when your boy Mad Sweeney shows up later on in the story. So he's a pretty prominent character. He turns out to be a pretty impactful character in this.
I will say between the 8 episodes, he comes in, he's gone, he comes back, and I like the development of his character. Because at first, he seems like this jerk. Then you realize he was manipulated, and he seems like he's heartless. And then you're like...
Okay, all right, yeah, I was about to say.
Then it's like, oh, wait a minute. He does kind of... Wait a minute, what's going on? He's not...
You don't know the half, my man. You don't know the half. There's plans. People are up to some stuff. And between the two factions, the new gods and the old gods, there's strings that are being pulled. There's loyalties that are being tested, and there's people who are being sacrificed. It's like a giant game of chess between these two groups. And certain characters are being moved into just the right way to benefit certain people who I won't give away. But folks are up to some stuff.
I love the diversity in the cast, and the fact that you're getting a lot of different cultural perspectives.
Yes. American Gods.
All the rules while things are going on. And again, to clarify even more as we're talking about this for anyone that's just jumping in or has no idea what we're talking about, the New World, America, get out of here.
Get out of here. What are you doing? No, I'm just playing.
We're talking about the New World, America, right? The New World, and you have gods from the old country that moved over to America as individuals of just different cultures moved over to America. And of course, there were cultures that were already here that had their own gods. And the clashing of the old school of all these different gods and times changing, social media, technology, and how, I mean, it's interesting because it reminded you said something about Black Mirror, how, we're becoming gods of our own selves in a way, through likes, and fans and followers. I don't want to give too much away, but they're definitely playing on all that, and I think it's brilliant.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That's what makes American Gods such an incredible read, because American history is literally just like compressing all these other cultures and all these different peoples into one place. And that's including our religious beliefs and our cultural backgrounds and our folklore and our mythology. And if these beings are powered by belief, they were ported over from one part, like all these different spots on the globe, to one place, and they've had to adapt. That to me is just fascinating, and it makes for really, really good character tales. It makes for really good just reading, in my opinion. So, and they've captured that in the show, I feel. They've done that. And the fact that they were, I don't want to kind of sound like I'm standing on my soapbox, but like, in the fact that they were willing to go ahead and move on with the original iteration of Shadow, because Shadow in the book, you come to learn that he is of color. He's mixed race. His mom is black. His father is who his father is, who I won't spoil. They kept that in. When I heard that American Gods was going to be a film, and then it was then later adapted into a series, I was like, Chris Pine is going to be Shadow. I just know it. Ryan Gosling is going to be Shadow. Channing Tatum is going to be Shadow. Like, you know, Taylor Lautner is going to be Shadow. Just like, if you just go through all just what you'd expect people to want to
as far as casting, right?
As a cast, when it comes to casting, yeah. They didn't do that. They got your guy who's been, down to the way that he talks, like, that's how I have Shadow pictured in my head, you know? So they were...
Played by Ricky Whittle.
That's his name, right? Rick Whittle?
Yeah.
Rick Whittle,
and he was in the 100, and he gained a lot of female fans from that. Really sad to see him go, but you know what? Glad he got off that show and went to this one, because
he's on this one now, which I think that that's not a bad machine to be a part of. Definitely. American Gods right now.
Yeah.
And when it comes to his acting, I'm like, I dig this guy. He's like a guy's guy. He's sensible. He's a tough dude, and it works. Yeah. You know, for the type of character that he is, it totally works. So
he's got a really good future in Hollywood after this show.
It could open some doors.
I think so.
I mean, all the performances that I've seen thus far have been on point. Like Ian McShane. Ian McShane just kills it every time. You could have him advertising like soap or like pancake batter, and he will still like bring it home. So it's all good. You knew he was going to come in and shine. But what's her name? Emily Browning, who plays Laura, his dead wife.
Right.
The scenes that I've seen of her, man, I'm like, that's Laura. That's exactly how I pictured her in the book. And she kills it. Bill Quist, the guy, like the gods themselves. Orlando Jones, Mr. Nancy.
Right.
Yeah, boy. All right. So the show has just all around been consistently good from what I've seen. The people are liking it. It's gonna get picked up for a second season. I will be shocked if it doesn't get picked up for a second season. Perfectly honest, I'm calling it now.
Gillian Anderson was great.
Yeah. It's just to round all that whole thing up. It is probably one of the best instances of a novel that has been ported into a television show. There's the American Gods, there's the Westworlds, you know, and those are those rare gems that you get where the transition is just smooth and the things that they change work.
Right.
And it's all around just like a good time.
Right. So I would definitely suggest people check that out.
Yes.
I would definitely
check out American Gods.
Is there any particular predictions you have? Well, you read the books, though, right?
It's not a prediction. It's just me spoiling it for you.
Okay.
Gotcha. So I'm going to keep them quiet.
Yeah.
They could change. I'll throw that one to you. What are your predictions? You go.
I think we're going to find out that Wednesday is either, because we're going to find out somehow this one character, Shadow, is super important to this whole thing. And either he's he's the real Jesus or God's son or something super important that is the reason why he's kind of a pawn in the whole thing.
Okay, you're not wrong with that one. Go a little harder, man. Come on.
Go harder.
That was easy. That's nice. That's nice. Particular characters when it comes to the dynamic that you have between Wednesday and Shadow in seasons going forward. It can't be that many seasons, but in concurrent seasons moving forward, what do you think the relationship between Wednesday and Shadow will be like? Will it just be this like master apprentice type of thing? Do you get the vibe that maybe Wednesday is like setting Shadow up for something?
Well, I got up into episode 8, and we're at that point where he, the wife starts realizing that she was a pawn to put Shadow in position to be a pawn. So that's very apparent. Now, where it goes from there, I don't know, because it just ends right there. Like, hey, we need to talk to you about something. You know, because we find out that I don't spoil it for people, but she was killed by someone to get this whole thing going. And
now, to preface, let's hold on, pause that, hold that thought really quick. Let's step back for 1 minute and set this joint up. Emily Browning's character, Laura Moon, okay, Shadow's wife. She's killed right before the series starts, and what we're told is a car accident while she was going down on one of Shadow's friends, right? I forget what the guy's name is, right? They both died in a car accident while she was giving this dude dome in a car. So that's already, crazy. That's already crazy enough as is. Shadow comes back, the wife of his friend.
And got to mention this. He's in jail, ladies and gentlemen.
He's in jail at the time, of course. He's Shadow's in jail at the time. He only finds this out after. They let him out of jail early with the news that, your wife is dead. And then he comes to find out at the funeral that, or after he gets out, your wife died in a car with your boy. They were driving a car together. And by the by, she was giving him dome skis as they were driving when they crashed. So that's the setup for that. You have this traumatic, terrible event. He meets up with the now widow of his friend, who is equally distraught. And you have this really great, ridiculous, ratchet scene where she tries to rape him in the graveyard. Oh, it's so thirsty.
And while all this is going on, folks, it's so interesting how every episode starts in some point in time, some random point in history where people are coming to America or already in the Americas, and some sort of interaction with someone having bad things happen to them, and then they had to pray, and then some miracle happens to save them. Again,
God, you just made that sound like every Tyler Perry movie ever made, and then that one really crappy movie, The War Room, which was... You're in trouble. Quick, run and hide in your closet and pray.
Oh man!
But oversimplified, but more or less on the. We've brought our traditions and our beliefs and our gods with us over the many years that we've kind of.
And they keep that going while telling this story a little bit not out of sync, but just changing it up so you're not really seeing clearly the cause and effect. And it opens up the cause and effect. I think that's what's so great about it.
Right. It's world building too. They also that's a thing that they have in the book as well. They have the main chapters and they have these little widgets, these little nuggets, these in between portions where they show you the history of these gods or give you different tales that are attributed to different gods who have come from different parts of the world. So they've really cleverly integrated that into the series as well. And it adds for kind of like an interesting by the by. Because like in the first episode, you see the Vikings, right? And you see them just get like trounced, right? And they're going back home and they're defeated and they've gone through this whole ritual of praying to their god Odin, who didn't reply. And it makes you wonder, it's like, okay, these gods have been around for that long. They're willing to do this to their own people, right? But it also shows like how we as a species, people have kind of like, we bring our baggage with us. And when we're defeated, when we hit these extreme, horrific events, we kind of harken back to the old ways and the old gods and our old beliefs and traditions and stuff like that. That's what the Vikings did. For better or worse, wherever they go, they bring their beliefs in Odin and the Norse and the Aesir and all that stuff with them. So that just it sets just that seed where it's like, keep that in mind for these other parts that come along. So it's really clever how they did that. I dare.
Are there any other novels or films that you would like to be translated into series like American Gods?
I mean, there's always ones that I think are interesting, but not everything that you love on paper translates well to film. We say that all the time. It's funny you brought that up because HBO is now talking about making Watchmen into a series. And I'm like,
done right, better series and film.
But I'm like, we were saying, like, a lot has to go well with that series in order to make it right. Same thing with what would be another good example? The upcoming Death Note series, right? That's going to be on Netflix, right? It could be dope. It could be crap. But so many different pieces have to come together. The music, the cinematography, the performances, the writing. I guess you could say this applies to any show, but for this one in particular, so many pieces have to come together because it's such an ambitious project. So many things have to go right in order for it to, spark people and get interest and be good. So,
Well, it's interesting when you talk about developing characters and see where things go. I'm a little frustrated with, like, for instance, Gotham. How you have all this great material, all this great, and because you're starting out between the years after Bruce Wayne's parents died and before he became Batman, it's amazing.
yeah.
And they start going down some alleys that are just like, why are you doing this? Why are you?
Ooh, nice little
stretching
time
out?
going down these alleys. All right,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see you, Seven. Okay.
You see me?
Going
Okay,
down
thank you.
these
Sir.
alleys.
Like, why? I mean, the White Owls is so interesting. I mean, that in itself.
Yeah.
Bruce and his training. I mean, even bringing a young Catwoman.
I mean, even separating. Even separate yourself from all that other stuff, dude, because there's so much lore in Gotham's history that has nothing to do with Batman. It has nothing to do with Selina Kyle. Has nothing to do with these staple villains that you see all the time. Like, Gotham potentially could have been a very good crime drama that focused on the recurring themes would have been madness and corruption, right? And everyone's inner demons. Like, Jim Gordon, that whole first season should have just been, if I were writing Gotham, it's like, yo, Drew, sit your ass down and write a season 1 for Gotham, right? I'm like, okay, Jim Gordon moves from Chicago to Gotham. He finds out that the place is completely corrupt. And over the course of that first season, you just see the layers of madness and bullcrap stacking up to where he finds out by the end of the first season that the corruption goes up to the commissioner himself, his own boss. So the idea of justice and law is skewed when he gets there, and it drives, there's this weird recurrence of everyone in Gotham just kind of just going mad bit by bit. It's a place where you go to go crazy.
And I have to say, they did do a pretty good job with what you just said. It's just when they got to season 2 and they run to really stretch this Paul Moon, the Mooney character played, and trying to keep that alive, and then trying to psych the audience out, the fans. Oh, we're going to give you a Joker? We're not going to give you a Joker.
See, that's where they lost it. Because they started trying to focus on all the characters that you know already, and then they just messed up the lore.
Right.
And it became Baby Batman.
Yeah.
It's like Baby Batman and Catgirl hanging out, getting in adventures. I'm like, come on, man. There's so much more that you could have done with that.
The Mad Hatter thing, once that happened, right when they did Mr. Freeze, which they did an okay job with that, but once they got into the Mad Hatter and mind control, and then this one, that's like, nah, you don't even have to go there with that.
Because the shows, I think at the end of the day, not to sound like I'm sitting on my soapbox, but like at the end of the day, this Gotham is an example of executives saying, hey, how many comic book characters can you mention in this show and present in this show to get people hyped for the movies? Right. Like, whatever you can do that. Screw subtlety. Screw compelling stories. Screw decent character motivation or that descent into madness. Just throw Selina Kyle here. Speckle Victor Freeze there. Give us 8 different Jokers, because apparently it's like, a virus that gets transferred from one person to another. So stupid. But
they did create.
Let's just shoehorn in as many DC characters as we can, because we have the rights and the character properties.
Right. But they did create a lot of random characters I thought were kind of cool. The fact that they I think there was maybe 6 episodes in a row. Every episode, hey, we'll just make up a character.
Make up a new character. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was okay. That was pretty good.
When they were executed well, they were all right. I mean, Fish Mooney was created a completely, new character just for this show.
Right.
And while you saw that there was a base, or they had an idea for her.
Right.
They lost it because the fan reaction was negative towards her, and it's just like, oh God, should we just kill her off? And before that, let's throw her in an underground bunker where there's a bunch of refugees or captives or something like that.
Well, that's when they brought her back.
Is that when? Yeah, that's when they brought her back.
Which was no reason to do that.
Because they didn't know what to do with her. They wanted to keep her, but at the same time, it's like, well, I don't know what we should do with her. Just make her a low-key, slum revolutionary.
Right.
Because that's something we can do something with that.
Yeah.
It's all over the place, man.
Yeah.
Like I dipped out, I think, after season 1, and I saw random episodes of season 2. I'm just like, this is just, they don't know what they wanted to do, and it sucks because Gotham could have been a very good. Gotham would have benefited from being on like a channel like AMC or Showtime, to where you don't really have to hold back as much, and you can tell the kind of stories that you want. Not HBO. It's not messed up as it sounds. It's not as sophisticated.
Can you imagine if it was Showtime or Stars or even
Showtime or Stars?
Netflix?
You would have had the same deal, but just a lot more violence and a lot more sex with Stars, because that's what they love.
Right.
But it could have been dope. It could have benefited from being on a better network, I feel. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Looking
forward for Shameless to come back, even though that has nothing to do with any of this world. But...
Random plug. Yeah, right. Which chick on the show are you ready to see again, Seven? Because that's usually what it boils down to.
Nope. Not this time. Not this time.
Lies. Want to know why I know it's a lie? Because I don't even watch the show, but the main girl, I'm just like, yo, she's cute. I'm not even gonna lie. Her and her girlfriend, the dark skinned one, I'm just like, yo, they're cute. All right, I'll check this episode out.
I actually like Pops. He's hilarious.
Pops, yeah, the dad Gallagher. He's the most fascinating scumbag on any show that you have ever seen.
That you've ever seen, and he's so. It's how does he go from playing lawyers and all this detective stuff, and now he's.
William H. Macy, man, he's all over the map, dude. He's done kid stuff, but he's also done Fargo, and then he's been this character. He's everywhere. Right. So,
but I think even them, they're running out of little steam, some ideas.
I'm surprised the show's still on, dude. I know that it's because it's based on a UK show. But this is the
correct.
Shameless that we have in the States is an American version of a show that's made in the UK. I'm not sure if the UK one is done or if they're just kind of like winging it.
Right.
But
they had it on Netflix for a while. They just took it off. So
they just not took it off. Yeah.
But if you can,
I thought I seen it. Yeah, I think they just took it off.
Never mind. You can catch it, it's very interesting to see the cultural differences and how much they change things to make it more hip for America, I guess you could say, or edgy for America. I
guess.
But the base is the same. You know what's interesting too? The Australian show Wilfred. Someone just put me onto that.
Wilfred? You just not gotten to Wilfred?
I'm a little late.
Wilfred is legendary, dude.
What do you think?
Wilfred is great.
What'd you think of that?
Wilfred, it was an awesome show. That was all about madness and trauma and what happens to us when we're kids and how that affects us for like life. It's great. Great. I burned through like the first few seasons of Wilfred because it's done now. I think it only had like 3 or 4 seasons.
3 or 4 seasons, yeah.
Something like that. And I burned through 3 of them at once, and then the last one came out, and I watched that one as it was airing. So that was a great show. That was a dope one. And they used the original actor for both series too. Fun fact.
Oh, it is the same guy.
Same guy. That's why he has the silly accent.
Wow. I thought they tried to find someone to look like that guy. I didn't realize it was the same one.
It's the same dude. That's his thing. It's totally his character.
Wow. Well, lucky him.
Yep.
He got to play the same thing twice, and
they paid him for it, man. That's what's up. He did a good job.
So,
we got anything else?
No, that's it, brother.
All right, man.
That's it. I mean, we do have. I mean, any rants for us before we go? We got exactly 5 minutes.
5 minutes? No, I don't have any rants today. I'm actually chill.
What?
I'm gonna go with I know, right? So just freestyling right now. Warner Brothers, if you're gonna make a Green Lantern movie, please no. I'm just gonna say, if you're gonna make a Green Lantern movie, Green Lantern Corps, whatever you're gonna have it. If you're gonna go with Jon Stewart, that's good.
What?
Please don't make it Tyrese. Please, I cannot take Tyrese seriously. Every time I see him on screen, I'm waiting for him to bust out in a song. I can't deal with that type of pressure and drama if I'm trying to watch Green Lantern do his thing in the space. I'm gonna watch him every 30 seconds. On the Green Lantern Corps. No.
That was pretty good.
Do not do that, please. I can't hack that.
Wow.
That's the closest thing I got to a rant. Please don't make it. What
about the guy? What's his name? That's
What's up?
Michael B. Jordan.
How he plays everything now.
Yeah.
How he's gonna be Eric Killen. I hope that in the Black Panther movie, they make him as vicious and as like bloodthirsty and badass when it comes to hand-to-hand fighting as humanly possible. Because I don't find him intimidating. I don't find him intimidating. He has just like, I call it the black hipster do, where it's like the comb over, it's like the cute dreads, it's adorable. He has it flopped to the side. There's probably gonna be a point where it's like it's covering his left eye because it's like, Afro emo or whatever.
Right.
And he's just gonna be moody. And I'm not crapping on the characters. Michael B. Jordan's a dope actor. He's likable, but that's the problem. He's likable. I can't picture him as being a villain. I just can't do it. So he's gonna have to be super vicious. He's gonna have the highest body count of all the characters in the movie, bar none. That's my quote for that.
Would that even do it?
For me, yeah, but he's also going to have to do something to where I'm just like, you're unscrupulous. Okay, core of Eric Killmonger. He's unscrupulous. He's super intelligent. He thinks 3 steps ahead of everyone because that's what T'Challa does, and he's ruthless. Like, straight. The only loyalty that this boy has is to his Jaguar. Like, and that's even a quote in the damn comics. Like, that's really the only person on this earth that he cares about. Okay? Killmonger in the movie, a la Michael B. Jordan, is going to have to be all those things and then be a complete badass when it comes to his hand-to-hand fighting skills. With those swords, he better be chopping folks down left and right. It better be a slaughterhouse.
He's got to really act this time.
Yeah. Well, he acts. Come on. Give the dude some. He's not a bad actor.
No.
He's too likable. So it's going to have to be a slaughterhouse when he rolls up in Black Panther and starts, doing his thing. That's my only constituent for this next movie.
That's it?
That's all I got.
All right, Drew. Thank you very much. Representing the West Coast. As always, on the East Coast. Michael, you're watching ECLECTICKA, and we'll see you guys next week.
Watch Preacher.
Yes.
Back.
Yes. Woohoo! Music. Here you go.
Yeah. I'm not gonna do the dance, but I will give you the little bootleg beat.
And you know what? You did it at the exact time as the beat was playing, so that was awesome.
Oh, that's
you were right on it.
Yeah. Timing.